So I've been rejected over 69 times, and this is a CV that got me an internship at Samsung for business and marketing. I say internship, but it was more of a placement year where you work for a year at a company, and my company was Samsung. And actually, I'm going to be graduating in a few months at Aston University, which is in the UK in Birmingham. Yeah, it just shows that you don't have to go to a Russell Group prestigious university to land a great internship at a top company like Samsung or Apple or Tesla or whatever. So in this video, I will show you my CV, which I used to land an internship / placement year at Samsung, and give you more like tips and tricks on how to do well when creating a CV and build upon the CV over the years and years, and what things to avoid and what things to not. So I'll be covering parts of CV such as the profile, education and qualification, work experience, key skills, additional information, and your interests. Oh, and if you have not subscribed, don't worry, let me earn it by the end of this video. Now let's go. So before I talk about my CV, let's talk about what a CV's actual purpose is, and also what you should keep in mind when writing a CV. So CV should be very simple to read and should have lots of information about your experiences, skills, etc. I say maximum for a student should be 2 pages, but on Google it does say 4 pages, but mine's 2 pages, so maybe just try to keep it at 2 pages for now. Some people try to make their CV very artsy with lots of colors and lots of formatting, lots of columns, etc. Don't really do that. Don't do that at all. It's kind of unprofessional, and I've seen other people's and it just looks really unprofessional. In my opinion, it needs to be very simple to read and very easy to understand. The main thing you need to keep in mind that CV should be optimized for readability. That's a key phrase, optimized for readability. Especially nowadays, I know big companies like Samsung, Apple, Tesla, whatever, they use something called ATS system. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's called Application Tracking System. And basically that system tracks thousands of CVs, and it just picks out the most relevant CV towards that job description. And when I say relevant, it's more normally like the CVs which have the keywords and the key phrases from the job description, and your CV has those information which a job description is looking for, and the ATS system would be like, oh yeah, this is a CV that's really relevant towards the job description and the role, so I'm going to take this in. For example, if you're applying for like some social media marketing role and the job description has words like strong understanding of social media, SEO and sales, then the CV that includes those keywords will be guaranteed to go through. And let's be honest, the last thing you want is basically the ATS system not understanding your colors or your artsy CV with lots of formatting, lots of columns, or just really irrelevant information, and then just rejecting your application. And after that, after the ATS system does detect it and be like, okay, this CV is quite good, then it goes to the recruiter, and the recruiter will read your CV and they'll probably spend about 7-8 seconds on it, to be honest. So you gotta have the most simple and the best information presented in a very easy to read way. So definitely try stick to that. Easy to read, bullet points only, maximum 2 pages, and should be very easy for you to add or remove points as you build experience over the years. So to build this CV, I just used my university CV builder. It's called Aston CV Builder or something, but it's only for Aston University students. But I'm sure that your uni does have that, so try and see if there's like a CV builder webpage or something within your university homepage. Some people also go on Google and type CV templates and they just look at what's the nicest looking one. Don't really do that. Keep like the really simple, basic, wordy, easy to understand CV template that you can find. It's got to look boring. It's your CV. It's not some art design class. It's your CV. So try to keep it very simple. So let's move on to the basic stuff. This is basically what's going to be on top of your CV. So on top, obviously, put your name, nice and big and bold. Put your phone number on there as well, and your email and LinkedIn. And please don't tell me you don't have LinkedIn. Like, if you don't have LinkedIn, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, it's 2025. Everyone uses LinkedIn. I have friends who've worked at recruitment agencies, and they always look at LinkedIn. They don't even read the CVs, they look at LinkedIn first. And plus, I think you don't really need to have a CV if you have a really good LinkedIn. So, but that doesn't mean you should only go LinkedIn. You should have a CV and LinkedIn, because some companies want your LinkedIn and your CV as well. So keep that in mind. So I grew my LinkedIn to over 1,300 followers and also 500 connections. So if you want to see how to create a really nice LinkedIn and how to grow it, let me know in the comments. So for my main body is basically my profile section, which is basically your first impression, how you are as a person, what is like a summary of you as a person, as a professional person. It's basically like your personal elevator pitch, and it should summarize in 3 to 4 lines who you are, what you do, and why you're a strong candidate. So for example, mine, I went with something like a dynamic, results-driven marketing student with experience in digital paid media, SEO and affiliate marketing, and content creation at a European HQ level. Definitely did not use ChatGPT for that, but hey, you know, See how I didn't use student who's studying marketing? Because that's too basic. Everyone has that. Because you want to sound professional and very focused and very driven person. So my best tip is try to use words like led, managed, delivered, supported, increased. Like these verbs are like, they're the best of the best in terms of professional world. It shows them that you're thinking like an employee and not just some student. Education and qualifications. So let's move on to education and qualifications now. So as you know, this section is all about just providing your specific academic foundations, whatever. So here I just listed my university, what I'm studying, and what I'm predicted to get. I also included my certificates, which I'll talk about literally in a few seconds. And I've also included a few extracurricular, I can't really say that word, curricular, such as Duke of Edinburgh and my NCS leadership program, which I did years ago. But yeah, and if you don't have many other qualifications apart from just school stuff, try to include certificates. Like I've used, like for example, HubSpot digital marketing certification and like my Google Digital Garage Marketing Foundation. These are all free certificates, and I think it's a really good way to include these certificates, especially for example, if I'm doing marketing, I want to do free marketing courses on Google and just paste them on my CV. It just looks different compared to most students and gives you a bit of an edge, so you can talk about it maybe in your interview. And plus, these are all free certificates as well. So I just went on HubSpot, Google Digital Garage, and LinkedIn Learning. And make sure to always list the most relevant and recent education first. Also keep the formatting very clean, like institution, degree, and then date. That's it. That's enough. Work experience. So obviously this is the most important section of your CV. And for me, this is what made me different compared to all the other students, because my work experience section was very, very impressive compared to everyone else. And that's just not my words. That's what other people and recruiters have said about me. And they said that you've got something which many of the other candidates do not have, and I could talk about it. So companies really, really like me because of my work experience in business and marketing, entrepreneurship, etc. And I know many students will have only work experience such as being like a part-time waiter, part-time warehouse worker, etc. So rather than me doing that part-time roles, I just kind of played around and just like learned how business marketing works. So I started a few Instagram pages, like theme pages. I opened like a TikTok account. What else did I do? It's on my CV. What am I talking about? Yeah, I opened like a dropshipping e-commerce site. I sold notes of my like revision notes for my business modules. I did a bit of Amazon blog affiliate marketing where I just put links on my blogs, and if people click it, I get money, like commission-based money. Most of them didn't really work, but I learned a lot from it. That's the thing. That's what made me different from everyone else, because yes, I failed with a lot of them, but I learned so much that I could talk about it, and that made me look very impressive to the recruiters. So that's the thing. This is what you should be doing. You should start something like a YouTube channel or like a TikTok theme page. You don't need to show your face. You can start something and then just like spend a few months on it, and then regardless if you succeed or failed on it, you've done something which a lot of students won't do, and then you can talk about it to the recruiters, and they'll just look with you from joy because they'll be like, oh wow, he's actually very determined and whatever he does. So I did that for marketing, and I did marketing based business models. If you're into finance, you can do finance-based business models, etc. Just try to pick something which is relevant towards the career that you want to go for. I did marketing, so business and marketing was my thing. That's what I wanted to do. But if you're like doing finance for your careers, you don't want to start like a YouTube channel and do daily vlogs and then talk about it to the recruiter, because it doesn't make sense. It's not relevant. Like the skills that you learn from daily vlogging, it's not relevant to your finance career stuff. So try to bring a bit of finance into it, like whatever you're going to do. So when you're writing your bullet points for your work experience list, try to be very dramatic and very results based, and also avoid like specific details which HR wouldn't really understand, because let's be honest, they don't really exactly understand what you're going to be talking about in your CV. So it needs to be simple, it needs to be dramatic, and it needs to be very results orientated, so the HR person will be like, oh okay, I can tell he's done this and this and this, which is very, very relevant to marketing or finance or whatever you want to apply for. So they'll get you through. For example, when I worked at Samsung as my placement year, I didn't just say I did this specific thing and I did this which led to this. I just was very brief about it. I just said supported the launch of Samsung Galaxy S24, Flip 6 and Fold 6. Worked in digital paid media where I covered Google Ads, YouTube, Meta Ads. Contributed to SEO optimization across 34 markets and countries. Something like that. So it's very dramatic, it's very simple, but it also shows results. For example, let's just say you launched an Instagram page and you want to talk about like your next content kind of blew up. So you can just say, for example, grew organic traffic by 15%, and that sounds better than just saying oh, I just grew my page, that's it. Like, just kind of be dramatic about it. Maybe you can get ChatGPT to make it very dramatic if you are not very imaginative. I'm not, so I use ChatGPT. So now let's move on to key skills. This is basically a very easy way to bump up your application. Like, give it a bit extra power, a bit of nitrous boost, if you can say. So within key skills, I have two sections: transferable skills and technical skills. So when you're reading the job description and it says things like data insights, social media, brand strategy, you want to use those words which are in the job description and put them in the key skill section. It's like a very easy way to really bump up your application. And if you're struggling with like finding skills and putting them down in your CV, I use ChatGPT to help. So what I did was basically copy the job description link and paste it on GPT, and then just type something like, hey ChatGPT, I worked at this company doing this role. What transferable skills / technical skills should I add to my CV? And then just tailor your skills and put them in the job description. Or you can just say, for example, like obviously what I said before, use the link, paste it on your GPT, and then just tell it to find the key skills, like the transferable skills and the technical skills, and then just put those in your CV. You can do that as well. There's two ways you can do that. One in your work experience where you can include it, or one within the key section and key skills. It's really, really important to tailor your skills towards the job description, because remember, the 8-tier system is your first boss. So you need to get through that by making it very, very relevant. Additional information. I just put like my manual full driving license and the languages I speak, which is English, Hindi and Urdu. I saw a few jobs when I was applying to grad schemes. They were saying you need a full driving license. So if you can just include that within your CV, like your additional information, then that just gives you a really easy pass. Don't try to overstuff information in this section. Like, only list the stuff which gives professional value. And finally, interests. So I know a few YouTubers, like they say, oh, it's just a waste of time. No one cares about your hobbies. It's a CV. You gotta be serious. It just adds a bit of personality, in my opinion. And it's only like what, 1 or 2 words. So it doesn't really hurt the CV that much. Like personally for me, because I love swimming and I love watching Formula 1 and I love going to the gym, etc. Recruiters have something to talk about. And when I was in the interviews, they were like, oh, you do swimming, you like Formula 1. Did you see Hamilton's race, or did you see, this Miami Grand Prix? What did you think of it, etc.? It kind of just breaks the ice and makes you feel more comfortable, and that was quite nice. It made me feel very, very less nervous. So it's a tip. You don't have to include it, but I did anyway. So finally, my closing tip: just remember that your CV is your living document. Like this version which I have right now is probably version 15 or 16 or 17. Like the amount of iterations I had to do over and over again was crazy. But it's not perfect, and it will never be perfect. You just kind of have to keep iterating and adding more and more stuff as you go through your years. Just promise me one thing: focus on clear design, easy to read bullet points, tailor the CV towards your job description, and you'll be completely fine. I promise you. Please subscribe if this video has helped, and yeah, good luck on your application. Stay blessed. Take care.